Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for stopping on in for this video, which is going to be a little bit different than the videos that I typically make on my channel. So the idea behind this video is I wanted to guess what were the top 10 countries that view my channel. And since I talk solely about American politics, talking about polls, election predictions, as well as election results, I just thought it might be an interesting topic of which countries had the most interest in seeing how American politics are playing out right now. So I made a list here of what I feel are going to be potentially the top 10 countries of viewership for my channel. I threw this together in just a couple of minutes, but I feel like it's a pretty good best guess here. And then I'm going to go over this top 10 list of my guesses and then compare it to what are actually the countries that give my channel the most viewership. So I just thought it'd be kind of a fun video to make to see which countries around the world care the most about American politics. So as you can see here, my list on the left-hand side of the screen, I put the USA first. I'd be shocked if I didn't get that one right, as well as Canada, number 2, our neighbors to the north. And then after that, I have the UK, Germany, Australia, France, Mexico, Israel, Brazil, and Japan, wrapping up my top 10 list of guesses. So I haven't looked at this in advance. I'm just going to record it as I jump in to the results here. So right now I'm on my YouTube dashboard page on the right-hand side of the screen. So I'm going to go over to the analytics. Now, before I jump into the list here, I'm going to go by total views instead of just watch time. I feel like that's probably a better metric to go by here. It's pretty amazing the amount of analytics that YouTube offers to people that have channels. But okay, so starting off here, number 1 is the United States. So I got that one. I'm gonna give myself 2 points if I get the country right and if I get it right in the slot. So not a big surprise here. I'll just put a couple of tallies. So, or maybe I'll go 2 points for that one. All right, so the next result, and that's going to be Canada. All right, so I get 2 points for that one. Moving on down the list. And the United Kingdom, nice. 3 for 3 so far. So those were probably the easiest guesses that I had to make on this particular topic. Now I think it's going to get a little bit dicier and trickier as we go on. If I can get anywhere close to maybe like 15 points in total, I'd say that would be really impressive. But anything over 10 points, I'd also find as a pretty respectable amount here. Well, maybe a little bit more than 10 would be respectable since I already have 6 points on the board. I guess my goal at this point is I'm going to try to get at least 15 points. I feel like that's a potentially obtainable goal. We'll see how things go here. So the next result, Australia. Oh, just a little bit off on that one. So I'm going to give myself 1 point for the Australia guess. That comes in at 11,000 views. So just to go through it real quick, over the past month, the U.S. has been about 467,000 views, Canada 31,000, the United Kingdom 23,000, Australia a little over 11,000. So the next one on the list here is Germany. All right, so I could have done a lot better here if I would have just flipped those 2 countries, but I'll give myself 1 point for getting Germany at least correct in the top 10. Moving on down to the next one, the Netherlands. All right, so that's actually one that I had on the list, and I took them off because I felt like maybe they didn't have a big enough population to get into the higher viewer numbers here, but I'm actually a little bit surprised about that. Not overwhelmingly surprised, but the fact that they're number 6 on the list here, that's pretty high up there, over 5,000 views. So moving on to the next one, the Philippines. All right, that's another interesting one because, of course, the Philippines with their ties to the United States, not a huge surprise, I would guess, to have them on this list, but also another one of those areas where you have a bit smaller of a population. Perhaps there's a lot of American citizens from the mainland United States that are over in the Philippines. There's a lot of military presence over there. Maybe I'm getting views from those types of people, but that's kind of an interesting number there, coming in at number 7 with over 5,000 views. All right, so India is the next one, and of course a country that has a major population. I didn't think that they would probably crack the top 10 here. Of course, I didn't think China was going to crack the top 10 because I believe you can't watch YouTube if you're in China, but India is a different scenario of another country that has a very large population, but YouTube isn't blocked in their country. So about 4,600 views over the past month from India, which is a pretty good amount. So after starting off really strong here, almost getting the top 5 exactly correctly, I've been struggling here over the last 3. So we have 2 more on the board, and if I can just get a couple of these right here, maybe boost up my score a little bit, we'll see how things finish out. All right, so Singapore is the next one on the list with a little under 4,000 views. That's going to be number 9. And then number 10 is New Zealand. All right, so the top 5 I did really good in. The next 5, not so much. I felt like France, Mexico, Israel, Brazil, and Japan were pretty decent guesses. Obviously, France, you know, kind of in the same category as Germany in terms of our European allies. So that's why I put them up there on the list. And then Mexico, just in terms of geographic location to the United States, I thought they'd be pretty high on the list. Israel, the ties to the United States, obviously, in terms of being close allies, I thought maybe they would have decent viewership. And then Brazil, a pretty populous country, also in the Western Hemisphere. I thought maybe that would have an influence. And then also Japan, another close ally, of course, of the United States. I thought they'd be in the top 10 as well. But I guess I'm just going to keep running through the list here. Maybe I'll go through 11 through 20 just to see if any of my 6 through 10 guesses show up here. So the next one on the list is Ireland at 11, Sweden at number 12. And before I go any further, just to total my final tally here, I was getting pretty confident there after the first 3, having 6 points, and then I got 7 and 8 from Germany and Australia, so I finished with only 8 points. So I was getting a little cocky there, I guess, after the hot start, but coming up well short of my goal of 15 points in total. But continuing on with this list here, so Sweden number 12, South Africa number 13, France number 14, finally getting in there at a little over 2,000. And then Mexico, number 15, another one of my top 10 guesses. Norway, next on the list. Italy, Switzerland, Denmark, Spain. Spain is another one that I debated maybe sliding in at number 10 on my list, but they were a little bit further down than that. Actually, no Japan yet, which I find a little bit surprising at this point. Malaysia, Thailand, Puerto Rico, Austria, Jamaica. And that wraps up the top 25. At least theoretically, these are potentially the top 25 countries that have interest in American politics. For those that are interested in just looking at the statistics of my channel, in which countries are giving it the most viewership. I feel like a lot of these are maybe Americans that are over living in other countries now. Maybe they grew up in the United States, maybe they retired in other countries, or just people in other countries that have an interest in American politics, because it is a bit different over here than it is in obviously a lot of other countries as well, and it can be kind of an intriguing thing to look at. So that's pretty much going to wrap up this video, guys. I thought it'd be kind of cool just to guess which were potentially the top 10 most viewed countries of my YouTube channel and which countries might have the most interest in American politics. So that's pretty much going to do it here, guys. Thanks for stopping on in. I know this video is a little bit different than the ones that I typically do, but I thought it'd still be pretty interesting at the end of the day. So I hope you enjoyed it, and you can subscribe for more. Leave a comment on what you think about particularly the top 10 countries, maybe some surprises that you saw personally, either on this most popular list in terms of the countries that are interested in American politics, or ones that didn't get on this list that you would have thought maybe were a little bit higher up. But I'd love to hear that down in the comment section. So again, thanks guys for stopping on in, subscribe for more, and I hope to see you back here for future videos.